There we go. See, I'm not a complete idiot. Mostly, but not completely. Alright, another thing here. Hi, I'm Matt, and this is Procrastination Garage. It's Tuesday morning, just before 10 a.m., and we're approaching Sunnyside, Washington. So we are headed to the cabin for an extended trip. I say extended for me. Going down Tuesday, coming back on Friday. That'll give us 2 full days to work down there. And I've got a couple of projects planned, so that ought to be exciting. Maybe not, but you'll see. On the way down, I'm doing a Hot Wheel hunt, which I usually do. And already I stopped at a Dollar General, where I usually stop and get breakfast at McDonald's. And I usually don't bother with that Dollar General, but I'm kind of looking for a Dollar General exclusive Hot Wheel. So I'm glad I stopped there because pegs were freshly stocked, and I actually found a Super Treasure Hunt. And if you're a Hot Wheel hunter, you know how rare that is, especially for me. I usually find maybe one a year at best. So I'm pretty excited about that. Did not find the Dollar General exclusive car I was looking for. But hey, we've got 1 or 2 more Dollar Generals on the way, so maybe we'll get lucky. Anyway, I guess that's about it until we get a little further along. Oh, one more thing. I don't know for sure that I can drive into the cabin or even get off the road. There is still a lot of snow up on top of the mountain, and I don't know how far down it comes. I think I'll be able to get off the road and park, and I think there's a decent chance I'll be able to drive all the way in or most of the way in. If not, this is just going to be a long drive down there and cabin check and back home this afternoon. I did toss an ATV on the back, thinking about that. Probably if there's snow, there won't be so much snow that I can't use an ATV, and probably won't be good for a snowmobile because I'm guessing there'll be some dirt showing. I truly don't know. So anyway, I had my choice of what to bring or nothing at all. I chose a yellow Can-Am ATV. It's around 2:30 p.m. and no, we're not there yet. But the good news is we did pass through Milton Freewater and are now headed up the mountain. So we'll be there not too long, within the next 25 minutes or so. Yeah, the Hot Wheel hunting slows me down quite a bit. You know, it's about 2 hours, 45 minutes from door to door if I just make a straight drive. But with all the stopping, it is what it is. So we still don't know what the snow situation is going to be. Looking off up on the mountains, I do see some snow up there. Just have to hope it's above 4,000 feet. I guess we'll know soon enough. Just made the turn onto our road, and the good news is there's less snow this trip than last trip. So should be clear sailing all the way in. So where are my manners? I've been at the cabin for several hours now, and about an hour ago I decided to start a project. The project is this refrigerator here. This is an RV refrigerator out of an old camper, and I brought it up here to install, I don't know, it's probably been 3-4 years ago. I put it in place, but I never got around to actually wiring it in or plumbing it in the gas. So today I decided to see what it was going to take. So it has a 120 volt plug on the back of it. So I plugged that in. Nothing happened. So I did a little research. This refrigerator needs a 12 volt input all the time in order for anything to work, even if it's running off 120 volt or if it's running off gas. So it's got to have that 12 volt source. All right, not the end of the world, because when I pulled the refrigerator out of the camper, I also took the little inverter box. And this is what you feed it 120 volts, and it sends out 120 volts to some things and sends out 12 volts to others. We'll also charge up the RV battery. So I've been dinking around with it. I had to figure out how it was wired for one. So what I finally determined was this here is the main circuit breaker. So you need to feed the power into that. And then the power comes out this circuit breaker and feeds down to this section here. This is the part that converts it to 12 volts. And then this other one here is another 120 volts. So, all right, we got that figured out. So here's all these little circuits that are all 12 volts. There were a bunch of wires hanging off there, going out the back that I'd snipped off. So I went ahead and I just pulled them out. So now nothing is wired to it. So I don't have all my electrical goodies with me. So I went out into the shed and I looked around and I found this old piece of wiring here. Not sure what it was for, but it's 420 volt house wiring, 14 gauge looks like. So we're using it. And I cut a piece of it off right here. And I've got one end wired in here. I've got the hot lead coming up here to the circuit breaker. I've got the neutral line going over to this bus bar here. And then I've got the ground going to this bus bar up there. Are those two right? Don't know. Should work just fine. Now I'm working on the other end, which comes down, and I'm in the process. I found a plug that I had out in the shed, brand new, never been used. So I'm in the process of wiring that in right now. I just tightened everything up there. So now we'll put that little piece there, slide it up there, get it connected, and then we can go ahead and plug it in. And when we plug it in and turn on this here, we should have 12 volts over to here. And it just so happens a while back I bought a little multimeter to keep in my truck all the time. So I'm going to go out and get it and we'll see if we have 12 volts. So if we have 12 volts here, we will wire into one of these using more of this wire. And then we'll put it in the back of the fridge to the 12 volt source there. You can see the refrigerator, I had pulled it out away from the, well, as far out of the holes I could. And then it's just kind of resting back. And I can access everything through these areas here. See? All right, sorry for keeping you guys in the dark. Literally, I don't know, figuratively anyway. And from this point forward, I'll keep you in the loop. Okay, first step is just to plug it in and see if there's any smoke or fire in this box right here. So you keep an eye on the box while I plug it in. All right, that's a good first step. Nothing's burning, nothing's smoking. So now let me turn on the one circuit breaker, the red one on the right, and see. Well, actually, I guess we need to turn on the green one to the left first. All right, that one's turned on, nothing happened. So let's turn on the one on the right, and hopefully the fan down below starts running. Okay, no fan running, but it may be temperature controlled. But I do hear a buzzing, and I think that buzzing is the little inverter thing converting to 12 volts. So now we need to see if we have 12 volts in that area right there. So let me check it and see. Meter set up, turned on. So first we need a ground. This is supposed to be a ground here. And then if we turn to one of these, look at that, 12.9 volts. Perfect. All right, next step, hooking up the refrigerator. My phone battery was dying, so you guys missed a couple steps. Basically, these wires here run into the back of the fridge, and then I brought them up into this box here. And I'm using black as a positive, white as a negative. And we're hooked into a 15 amp fuse. This was the grounding lug. So we're plugged in down there. The refrigerator is plugged in back behind. So if we turn this on, we should get noises. Okay, we do. Now the question is, are we getting voltage to the fridge or not? Not right now. Press on. Hey, look at that. See, we're in auto, and that's the temperature. AC, perfect. All right, we'll let it run for a little bit and see if it starts getting cold. So here's the deal. My generator, 2000 watt Honda, I was charging up the Jackery, and I heard it up and die out there, and got thinking, you know what, it's probably out of gas because I hadn't put any gas in it. Didn't know how much gas was in it. So I went out there, sure enough, bone dry. Filled it up with gas, choked it, started it, It fired right up. As soon as I turned off the choke, it died. And I did that half a dozen times. For whatever reason, right now it will not run. It'll run on choke for a short period of time, but then it starts fouling, it starts getting overly rich, and then it starts to die that way. As soon as I shut the choke off, it's just like I'm shutting off the fuel or the electric, the spark or something. So I don't know what's going on exactly. Not going to worry about tonight, but my Jackery is only at about 45%, which means I can't let this refrigerator run too long because I have no way of charging it. I do have my other generator with me, my little 1,000-watt Honda, but the Jackery and the Honda 1000 don't play well together. So if I can't get the 2,000-watt running tomorrow, then we'll finish off the trip using the 1,000-watt and no Jackery. Not the end of the world. I can't run the microwave. There's some things I can't run with the 1,000-watt, but that's all right. We don't need them. So anyway, that's where we're at tonight. It's coming up on, 9:30 at night. So it's time to pack it in. We'll be back tomorrow. And I guess the first thing we're going to have to do is work on the Honda generator. Then we'll move on to more fun stuff. Yeah. All right. See you in the morning. All right, guys. It's that time of the video where I beg you to hit the like button or the dislike button. Leave a comment, subscribe, and tell all your friends. I appreciate it. Thanks. It's a new day, and our number one priority is getting this Honda generator running again if we can. So last night I set it up on the bench so I could start tearing into it. But you know what? First thing, let's put it down on the floor, see if it'll run today. Now I hate to think that it might have fixed itself overnight, because that means it may happen again. But if I don't have to tear into it right now, that'd be good too. So let's try it. Well, I guess that's good news. Got bad shadows behind me, I can't see. All right, there's the carburetor. So there's a fuel pump right back in here. So we probably should see if the fuel pump is pumping. This is a pulse line coming from the engine up. So this should be the line going to the carburetor. Well, it's got fuel in it. It seems to be just draining fuel. Okay, that's a good sign. So we'll assume that's not our problem. I guess our problem is in the carburetor. So that's an overflow, that's an overflow. One. Two. It may be. Do we have something connected to this at all? Okay, now we got electrical connection. Okay, there we go. Alright, carburetor is clear. Free. Carburetor is free. So now we need a place to work on it. Like right there. Proper tool for the job. Yeah, we're good. You hear the Honda 1000 watt? I had to move it outside because not only is it loud, but the carbon monoxide Isn't good to breathe. Ooh, probably should get rid of that dirt. What we need is a towel or something to work on. Alright, first things first, remove the bowl. Golly. That's tight. Nothing to be seen in there, it's all clean. Alright, we're going to need to remove the float, check the needle and seat. Alright, a little carb cleaner. Oh, alright, so spray here should come out there. And it does. Okay, so there's nothing blocking that. Let's pull the main jet. Yeah. Not necessarily the right tool for the job, but it's a tool we've got. All right. Can't tell if I can see daylight through it or not. God, it doesn't look like it, really. Alright, well. It's clean now. She wasn't before. Where it's coming out. I don't know where that passage goes. That's clear. Right there. Everything I spray through seems to be working. So when I close that, alright, so that's not adding any fuel. All that's doing is just blocking air. I'm really not seeing any problems here. Now granted, that jet could have been blocked. We may have cured it. Let's put it back together. It's possible, not likely. I mean, maybe the float was stuck. You know, when it ran out of fuel, maybe. I don't see anything wrong with the needle here. I don't know, folks. I also don't know. Okay, if this goes like that, that probably should be facing out, like that. We're going to assume it goes back together just like that. Uh-oh, we got a problem here. Little gasket swelled up. That's not good. Might have been because we got some carb cleaner on it. I was watching a video with, I think, Musty, and it seemed like he had a way of shrinking gaskets when they did this. I don't remember what it was. Alright, I gotta go do some research and see. As it turned out, hot water was the answer. So I boiled some water, I dropped the little gasket into a bowl, filled the bowl up with water, waited. It never shrunk down fully. I got impatient. It shrunk down enough to where I could get it in there. So I screwed it back together by hand. We're going to tighten it up now with the socket. Alright, so I mean, honestly, I don't know what's wrong if I haven't fixed it. So we're going to go ahead and put it back together. What do we need? We need the electrical connection. There. Little cap covers it. Come on, this can't be that complicated. Okay, come on. Now see, you would think that that spot there would cover those wires there, wouldn't you? But that doesn't line up any of the other things. Guess I should have paid attention when I took it apart. Seriously. Oh, Lee, how dumb am I? Oh, wait a minute. As I recall, it went across like that, didn't it? There we go, that makes more sense. There we go. See, I'm not a complete idiot. Mostly, but not completely. Alright, this thing here, just click right there, like that. Let's go like that. Alright, you buy that? So now the fuel line, which is putting out lots of fuel, down my arm, goes right there, put the clip on. Alright, so we don't think fueling's an issue, so I don't know, just don't know. So put this back together. Miss anything else? No, I don't think so. That hooks up to this. Maybe afterwards. Yeah. Push back against anything important. Alright, screw there. Alright, should I put the rest of this back together? Probably not. But honestly, I'm not sure what I'm going to do if it doesn't run. I don't know what else to look at. Guess we'll figure it out. Alright, so what we assume is it has gas because we saw gas. We don't know for sure about spark, but spark shouldn't be an issue. On, I'm going to put down the floor, we're going to try again. Choke on. Switch on. We could make sure it's not a vent issue. Well, as you can see, she's running again. I don't know why. You know what I think it was? I think the float was stuck. My guess is that when it ran out of gas, the float probably just the little rubber stuck to the plastic and wasn't letting in any fuel, or at least not letting in enough fuel. Not sure. All right, you've done it. You've reached the end of another episode of Procrastination Garage. Hope you guys enjoyed it. So this was not going to be a two-part video. But during the editing process, I could see it was getting long, and I decided it was better to cut it short, because otherwise the thing probably would have been 40 minutes. And you'll see why when the next video comes out. Next video still at the cabin, although that'll probably be at the cabin for the beginning of the video and then doing something else the latter part. We'll see. Down in the comments, do me a favor, tell me about the projects you're working on or the things you're procrastinating about. I'd love to see I'm not the only one that's not getting everything done. If you haven't already, please like, please leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't, tell all your friends, all that good stuff. And at the end of the day, I'm Matt,
This is Procrastination Garage, and we'll see you within a week to 2 weeks or thereabouts. As soon as I can get one out. I've got the content. I just need to edit it. So thanks for watching.